All right, we are continuing with our lesson on SOL 8.3 A, B, and C square and cube roots. We've looked at simplifying square roots. We've looked at simplifying cube roots. Now we're going to look at some operations. So for today, we're just going to look at addition and subtraction. So again, we were going back through the essential questions. We said that the bullet point 3, how does understanding of combining like terms help with simplifying radicals? That will definitely help us with adding and subtracting. And how does simplifying radicals help with simplifying radical expressions? So we'll definitely be using combining like terms and our knowledge of simplifying square and cube roots to help us when we are adding and subtracting radicals. All right, so it says for our learning targets, I can simplify numerical expression containing square or cube roots. I can add and subtract two monomial radical expressions. All right, so for the strategy, so some steps that we can use to help us. Number one, you're going to simplify each radical entirely. All right, put it in simplest radical form. Remember to simplify based off of pairs of factors for square roots and groups of 3 factors for cube roots. Then combine the radicals with the same radicand. So this is basically the term inside the radical. Remember, the radicand is the term inside of the radical. So it's essentially combining like terms, like for example, with 2x and 3x, we can definitely combine those two because they are both have the variable of x. Whereas 2x plus 4, we cannot combine them because 2 is a variable term and 4 is a constant. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some examples. All right, looking at number 1, I have 3 times the square root of 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5. All right, so we treat our radicals just as if we were talking about just variables. So for this example, it'd be the same as if I just had 3x minus 2x. Instead of having just a variable, I actually have my radical with my radicand. We can see that both of these radicals have a radicand, or the number underneath the radical, of 5. All right, so since they are both the same, I just simply subtract my coefficients. So just like if I were to be working with 3x minus 2, I would simply do 3 minus 2, which just gives me x. The same thing applies for radicals. I have 3 minus 2, which is just going to give me 1. So I'm simply left with the square root of 5. All right, so we're putting that 1 outside of the radical. That's multiplying by 1, which just gives me the square root of 5. Looking at example 2, the exact same thing. I look underneath my radicand and I see that both of my radicals have 11. So I am simply just combining like terms. So I have 8 plus 3, which is 11. So I have 11 times the square root of 11. All right. So remember, there's nothing else that I can do because 11 is already simplified. The square root of 11 is already simplified as far as it can go. And all we're simply doing is combining like terms. All right. So for number 3, instead of working with a square root, I have a cube root, but the same knowledge applies. I have the cube root of 9 plus 4 times the cube root of 9. I look at my radical, I look at my radicand. My radicands are the same. I go ahead and I combine my coefficients. So remember, the coefficients are the numbers in front of the variable, and we can also say coefficients are the number in front of the radical because they are still being multiplied. So here it's just like having a 1. So I have 1 plus 4, which is 5. So I have 5 times the cube root of 9. Again, it is in simplest form. There is nothing else that I can do. And for the last one on this page, I have 25 times the cube root of 3 minus 7 times the cube root of 3. So here I see I have 25 minus 7. 25 minus 7 is going to give me 18 times the cube root of 3. All right, so for these 4 examples, we just looked at, okay, when our radicand is the same, whether it is a square root or a cube root. Now we're going to take a look at some examples of when my radicands are not the same. All right, so looking at number 5, I have negative 7 times the cube root of 5 plus the cube root of 27 plus 4 times the cube root of 5. All right, so remember, in order to be able to combine like terms or to be able to perform adding and subtracting radicals, my radicand has to be the same. So I see that my first term has a radicand of 5. My last term has a radicand of 5. But my middle term does not have a radicand of 5. So this is where now not only are we going to apply combining like terms, but we're going to also apply our knowledge of simplifying radicals. All right, so from previous examples, we know that 27 is a perfect cube, but we can go ahead and work it out. So to simplify, remember we're working with a cube root, so we want groups of 3. 27 is 3 times 9. 9 is 3 times 3. Circle my groups of 3, and we can see that we have one group of 3, which means nothing goes back under the radical, so we just get 3. So I'm going to rewrite my expression. So I have 7 times the cube root of 5 plus 3 plus 4 times the cube root of 5. All right. Now my middle term does not have a radical with it, so it is just a constant. So I can simply combine like terms. So again, 3 is a constant, so that's going to stay the same. So it's just like if I were to have 2x plus 3, I can't combine 2x and 3. So here I'm looking at, I have this 5, radicand of 5, I have a radicand of 5. So I have negative 7 plus 4, which is going to give me a negative 3 times the cube root of 5. And then I'm going to have plus 3 because I can't combine that together because that is a constant. And this radical is just like if we were to have a variable term. All right. So for number 6, we have the square root of 18 minus 5 times the square root of 2 plus 7. All right. So again, we're going to look at 18 because I think we can go ahead and simplify 18 a little more. So I'm going to pull 18 from underneath my radical. That's 2 times 9, which gives me 3 times 3. Circle my prime numbers. I have a pair of 3's, which that is going to go outside of my radicals. And I'm going to rewrite my expression. So I have 3 times the square root of 2 minus 5 times the square root of 2 plus 7. Again, I can see my radicands are both 2, so I can go ahead and combine like terms. So I have 3 minus 5, which is going to give me a negative 2 times the square root of 2 plus 7. All right, so for number 7, it has a little bit more to it, but I want you to pause this video and try to see if you can simplify number 7 on your own. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So I see I have a radicand of 3, radicand of 3, radicand of 3. Oh, but I see that 27 there, so square root of 27. So remember we broke down 27 before, but we can definitely break that down again in terms of a square root. So I have 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. Circle my prime numbers. Remember, since we are working with a square root, we circle groups of 2. All right, so that radical now becomes 3 times the square root of 3. All right, so I'm going to rewrite my expression. But when I get to here, does everyone see that this 5a is there? So that means that I'm going to multiply 5a times 3 times the square root of 3. So that gives me 15a times the square root of 3. So here I have 15a times the square root of 3. So this is similar to an example where we simplified in the warm-up and we had terms on the outside of the radical where we had to combine with those inside. And then I have minus 4a squared. All right, here, even though all of my terms have a radicand of 3, I have to pay attention to what's on the outside. So here you see I have 13a squared. I have a negative 2a, 15a, and a negative 4a squared. So remember, we're still going back to combining like terms. My x and my x squared can't be combined, just like my a and my a squared can't be combined. So I have 13a squared minus 4a squared, which gives me 9a squared times the square root of 3. Here I have a negative 2a and a positive 15a. To combine them, I get a positive 13a times the square root of 3. All right, so here, this is all that I can do because of the fact that we have an a squared and an a. Now, if they were just constants out, the coefficients had no variables with it, then we could combine all of those together and come up with one radical expression or monomial expression. But since we have a squared and a, we cannot combine them together. So my expression remains 9a squared times the square root of 3 plus 13a times the square root of 3. All right, now you're going to go ahead and summarize what you've learned in this lesson.